Hello everyone, I hope you are out there. Everything tells me here that it's going live, but I can't see you on my monitor here. Oh. Okie doke. Well, it's just coming, it's about 1 o'clock on Sunday, December the 3rd. I mean, can you believe we're in December already? It's scary. And I was thinking that, this is basically the sort of last chance to get any Christmas cards done. So I had a think about making some simple but elegant cards that would use up some of my paper stock and just really to just sort of share them with you. So if you are out there, perhaps you just go ahead and give me make a little comment in the chat box in that right hand screen and let me know that I'm not talking to myself today, and we'll start thinking about our cards. Now, as always with my lives, I don't plan, well, I have a think about what I'm going to do, but I don't actually work out exactly what I'm going to do until we are all together on the live. So I looked in my paper stash to see what papers I had left, and I've got 4 full sheets of this lovely paper, which I've used a couple of times on my lives before, and it's called Joyful, and it is foiled, so it's got nice shiny stuff. So when we're making Christmas cards, we need some nice shiny stuff to be able to for the like the season. And if the good thing about this paper is that it's blank on the other side, it's plain, so you don't have to worry about, well, if I'm going to use this side, am I going to lose something equally as pretty on the other side? So this is the paper that we're going to use, because I have got 4 full sheets. So just because we're going to be making quick cards doesn't mean to say that they won't be special, that they won't have sort of nice, be a nice finish. So using foiled paper is one nice way to finish, and I think a simple but not fun but nice fun fold is another way to go. And since this paper is white, got white base on it, I am going to use white cardstock, and I'm going to be using the thin cardstock. Sorry, thin. I'm going to be using thick cardstock. So hold on a sec. Somebody's just come to the door. My husband's chatting to him. I'm just going to make sure that the door is closed so it doesn't interrupt what we're trying to do here. So, right. So I'm going to take a couple of pieces of the thick cardstock, and I'm going to do a simple gatefold. Just simple gatefold. that is just going to be pretty but simple. So I've got my piece of card here, and I'm going to score at 2 1/8 from each side. Now by cutting 2 1/8, that means that my two side panels will meet in the middle. Oh darn. Okay, we'll use that for something else. So note to self, be careful of that cutting blade. So 2 1/8, flip over, and 2 1/8 here. Right, make sure I don't do the same mistake. So that gives me my one card. I think I'm gonna try and do 4 cards with the paper that we've got, just to show how quick these cards are. So 2 1/8. We'll see how we do, and if we start to run too long, then we won't make sort of all 4. Right, so now I've got 4 card bases at 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 2 1/8 from each end. So when I put my folds in, then it should meet in the middle. And wonderful, it does. Okay. So there's our 4 bases. Now with my pretty paper, I'm going to cut some panels to go on the front. So since these are 2 1/8, those panels are 2 1/8, then these pieces are going to be 1 7/8 and 5 1/4, and then that will give me a nice border. So if I cut this to be 5 1/4, like that, and then I'm going to do 1 7/8. So I'm going to need 2 for each card. So that's for one card. And then this one, I need to be mindful of the direction. So this is going to be 5 1/4, like that. And 1 7/8. 1 7/8. So I've got the grain of wood running top to bottom. This one doesn't have a direction, so we're easy for that. Whoa. And then 1 7/8. Now I could, of course, just make them all from the same piece of paper, but I guess I wanted to just see what they look like in the 4 different colours. Now this one has got a direction, it's got music notes, so I'm going to do my first slice at 5 1/4, and then 1 7/8. Right, So now I've got the pieces for my cards, and we can make a start at putting them together. Now, this is music paper, and I did ask a friend of mine who plays the piano if the music meant anything, and she said it didn't to her. So I know that I'm gonna put this one the right way up because the treble clef is there. So I know that that one's the right way up. This one, well, it's anybody's guess because I didn't make a note of where it came from on the paper. So there we have our first one. And then we've got our gold one. So the paper has the two colours that I'm gonna bring in is cherry cobbler and shaded spruce. So those are the colours of ink and cardstock that I've pulled out. And I'm also using the Christmas Classics stamp and die set. And again, I think I've used this a couple of times. So these are the ones that we're going to be using for this. So there's 2 down, 2 to go. So we've got our 4 card bases, all, well, very nearly all done. There we go, number 3. So we've been going 15 minutes and we've got 4 cards started. Okay. Right, so there we've got 4 cards, each using the papers from that pack. Okay, so I see a number of you have tuned in. Maybe you'll go ahead and just let me know in that live chat on the right hand side. I'm going to flip these over and I'm just going to put those folds in a little nice and firmly. All right, so there's our 4 different ones. So now we're going to take and use the colours that we've got. Now the stamp set has got a lovely stamp here called Peace on Earth, and another one, Deck the Halls. And I've got Peace on Earth here. We're going to use that one. I think I like that one. And as I said, they're fairly quick cards, but that doesn't mean to say that they're not going to have a level of luxury. And one of the things I thought that would be luxurious is if we did a bit of heat embossing. And so my thought is that we could put this shape here with Peace on Earth there, and we could then sort of just have that just attached to one side. So this die set, again, I have used it on a couple of other lives and projects that are on my blog. These are lovely fancy, delicate, detailed dies, but we're just going to use the simple square at the moment. Now these are my card colours, so rather than print or emboss this on white, I thought for a change I could emboss it on a colour. And what went through my mind is if I put some cherry cobbler down alongside this cut and then emboss this bit in gold, I think that might be quite a nice contrast. So that is my plan. So we'll cut a piece of this shaded spruce, and I'm going to cut a shape, this shape. I've got my little mini here, and I'm going to use my number 1 plate and then a number 2 cutting plate. I'm going to put my card down, and I'm putting it down at my die at an angle so that when it passes through the rollers, it hasn't got such a big step to go up. It'll just go through gently. See? So that worked well. Okay. So there's my piece, and I'm just going to measure that up just to see how many bigs it is. So that's 2 1/8. So if I make this layer piece 2 1/8, if I make this 2 3/8, that will give me a nice border. All right, so that's 2 3/8. Right, so that gives me that, which is going to be a nice contrast. And now I've seen that, I'm going to cut a couple of other pieces. So we'll go, what did I say? So we're going to cut one more in this colour, like that. And no. So if I do this 2 3, is that going to be 2 3/8? Did I cut that? Ooh, well that was very close, wasn't it? So I'm going to do the opposite of what I did there. So we'll cut ourselves a piece of this, and I'm going to go with the same ideas for the other 2 cards. Right, so 2 3/8. Right, so I'm going to have 2 with green bases and red fronts, and 2 with red bases so 2 with green bases and red fronts, and 2 of red bases with green fronts. So this needs to be, I think this is what I need to do when I get my head round it. Okay, let's get rid of all my scraps. Now I've got this colour combo, and I want one more like this, and so let's get this back again and see, because I am really hoping to actually get my 4 cards done. We've only been going 20 minutes. There we go. I didn't put it at an angle that time. There we are. So that's rubbish. And so that's going to go on there. And so now I've got 1 there, so I need another red one. Like that. All right. So that gives me that, and that's rubbish. And now I just need to cut one of these. And then I should have all my 4 pieces. There we go. And if my math worked out, which hopefully it did, we should have 4 little front pieces to create our cards. So there's 1, there's 2, 3 and 4. We're firing on all cylinders now. Right. Now, let's move you over there. So now we're going to emboss these. And I've got some gold embossing powder all ready with my little gun. And I'm going to start with my embossing buddy, just to take off any fingerprints. There we are. And then I'm going to get my Versamark out. So this is basically a clear ink, and it's super sticky, so that when you put your embossing powder on, it sticks. All right, so 2, 3. Now in the summer months, I would add my embossing powder straight away rather than stamp them all, because the heat. But since we're a lot cooler now, I can stamp them all at once and add my embossing powder afterwards. Okay, last one. Super. Let's pop that out the way. Now I put my pieces on this. There's a tray, and it's just covered with what we call tin foil in the UK. And we call aluminium here in the States. So I'm gonna just heat this up, let the powder melt into the sticky ink that we've added, and it turns from a really sort of grey to a grey dullish colour into a really pretty sparkly gold. And I'm just using a chopstick here to hold this down, because this heat gun gets really hot and can burn your fingers. And a chopstick is a really cheap tool. And part of the reason that I use the aluminium foil is that it helps the heat bounce back, and it melts it real quick. So there you can see we've got our nicely embossed pieces. Okay, so let's clear away now. So we're going to get these stuck down. I'm just going to use my liquid. You know me, I love my liquid adhesive, and you can always use what works best for you. Right. Okay. So there we've got that. So let's map out where we are. So this one has to have green, red on green. So that one belongs on there. This is easy. This is going to be green on red. And so then we've got these two, and I think I'm just going to do, let's just see. If you're out there and you'd like a vote, let me know, because was that more of a, is that better? I think I like that. I didn't get that very centered, did I? There we go. So I think we're going to do it that way. Now then. That's not quite luxurious enough. I think we need a little bit more decoration on these. So I did pull out some ribbons. I've got some, this is the gold that comes in a combo pack, silver and white and gold and vanilla. And I know I've used white, but I figure that if I have the gold bit, maybe that would be nice on there. But we've got these other dies, and I know I'm going to get some scraps of this card. I have just had a thunk. I've had a thought. Right, let's use, because I know I am going to get some scraps off of the bottom of these, because I'm going to be making some more of these cards, I think, when later today, because I do have a bunch of cards that need to go out. So I'm going to just cut off these pieces. So I'm going to need these to be 4 1/4, 5 1/4, sorry. So these are going to be my scraps. So rather than throw them away or put them away only to find them at another day, and what have I got? 4, 1, 2, 3. No, where's my fourth one gone? I think, is it there? Yeah, there it is. And then think, oh, I can't be holding on to those little scraps, I'll throw them away. If I use them now, I might be in a good place. Okay, so we have got these. These are two more dies that come out of that die set that I've been using. So let's just grab a couple and right. So I've cut 2 in gold. Can you see how pretty they are? Okay, so there's a couple in gold. This one is just catched inside, but it's going to come out nice and easy. So there's a couple in gold. Let's take a couple in red. Squeeze them over at an angle so that we get as many out of here as we possibly can. There. Whoa! So there's a couple in red. There. And if we do a couple in this colour. Right. There we go. It's not lined up. It is now. Right. So we've got 8 pieces and 4 cards. So I think we'll be able to do a couple of pieces on each card. And then maybe we'll add a little bow. I need to get rid of these pieces. Right. And so the last 2 we're going to cut are the green. We've got some little pieces in there that we just need to lose, because they won't, if you get too much paper caught up in the die, in these little holy bits, you'll find that it won't cut very spectacularly and you'll be disappointed. So all right. Well, I'm quite excited that I'm not going to have any scraps of this, because I am a bit of a hoarder when it comes to pretty papers, because I always think to myself, oh, I'm sure there'd be a better project to do that on, and then I come and find it one day and think, oh, well, that project never arrived. What am I going to do with my piece of paper now? Okay. Right. So we said that we were going to do this, and we've got some of these. So maybe what we could do is maybe we've got maybe a green. No, we can't use a green. Maybe we could either use a white and a red. or a gold and a red. Let's use one of the ones that are mainly white. And just got a little bit caught in there and another little bit in there. Right, so we want it, we probably want this to be over here, otherwise it'll be, when the card opens, it's going to be in the wrong place there. So I'm going to attach these to there, and I'm just going to use a little bit of tape there like that to hold that in place. What do you think? I'm quite liking that. Now we need some dimensionals. So we're going to stick one on that corner, so that's the corner that's going to be over there. And then we're going to put a couple up here next to the center fold. Like that. And then that way it won't show. All right. So what do we think? Okay, so one down. Now this one, I'm going to go ahead and put this on the corner, and I'm going to put 1 and 2, so that's going to go there. So should we do a green and a gold this time? We're going to pop that behind and some tape. And there's one just there that's not popped out. All right, so that's 2 down. And I'm just lining up the points with the center fold, making sure that this doesn't go outside of the footprint of the card. Oh, we've got 2 down. Okay, so I decided I would use this one. Now this one, what have I got left? Right. So green will go nice with this one, but it will go nice with this one there. And maybe I can use the red here, although the red is a bit lost against those berries, isn't it? So I'm going to switch those around and put the green and the gold on this one. Okay, green and gold. Here we go. So we'll go ahead and just put some, so I'll put that dimensional there, and here and here. You can use full-size dimensionals. I'm just using these small ones because they're handy. And so this is going to go there, like that. So again, we're going to get a little bit of tape. And get that stuck down. And just line up those points with my line in the middle here. Okay, 3 down, and just get this in place. that. And so I've got a red and a white one now. Just got to tie those tiny little pieces. Right, so that's going to come on there. A little bit of tape. How are we doing for time? So we've got 4 cards in about 40 minutes. This is good going. I just line those up. Now, where's my... I want to stamp something inside. And I think I'm going to use the shaded spruce. And there's this nice holly leaf here, which I'm going to use. And we're just going to pop that like that, just to give a bit of interest inside. I'm just trying to make sure I don't put my card in the ink, because I would be very upset. Okay. So if you think that this is a super project for those last minute Christmas cards, perhaps you'll go ahead, give me a thumbs up. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'd certainly appreciate that. And I won't do all my envelopes now, but I think I'm going to use this on my envelopes as well. So that would be that bit done. So really what we've got to do now is to just decide on any final embellishments. So let's try a bow. A bow, a bow, a bow. So we could do a bow and pop it there, like that. I also pulled out some of these, what are they called? Neutral adhesive backed sequins. And they sort of had like an orangey copper and a bronzy copper. Then there's these whitish silver ones and then these gold ones in there. And I've used up all the other ones, so that's why I've only got these ones left. And maybe what we'll do is we'll do a big one and a little one. Maybe there to fill that empty space. So let's see what a bow looks like. So we'll need a glue dot for this one. I like to use a glue dot for my bows. I have known people to use liquid glue. The thing is that with this particular ribbon, because it's metallic, it doesn't absorb terribly well, and I think it might just fall off. So that's why we're going to use a glue dot. Because if you follow me, if you watch my videos, you will know that one of my greatest fears is when somebody receives one of my cards and as they pull it out the envelope, something falls off. I think that would just be beyond embarrassing. So I'm always extra cautious with my adhesive, or extra generous, I think maybe I should say. Okay, so there's 3 bows, and then a final one. I think we're going to be lucky. We're going to get 4 cards done, and that's even without me knowing what I was going to do. Right, so we've got 1 down, then we've got this one, there, then this one. So I think you'll agree that it really does showcase this very, very pretty ribbon, decorative paper, and we've just used a couple of colours. That's a bit on the long side there, so we'll just snip that off, and then our final little bit of pretty is we're going to go ahead and put some of these lovely sequins, and they're super because they've already got sticky on the back, and so you just pick them up and plonk them down. And I think this is my last one. They're also pretty lively. There. So there we are. 4 lovely cards, sort of perfect if you want to make last minute cards. We've taken, what, 45 minutes to make 4 beautiful cards, and we have used the Joyful paper pack, but you could use any of the papers in your stash and just pick out some of the colours. Well, I really hope that you have enjoyed working alongside with me today while we created these cards. I'm going to go ahead and make some more. Now I've kind of got my eye in, I think I should be able to finish up the rest of that paper without any trouble at all. So if you have enjoyed this live with me today, perhaps you'll go ahead, give me a thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe, perhaps you'll do that and share my video. And I plan to be back next week at the same time. And again, thank you for choosing to spend some time with me today. And I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Bye bye for now, everyone. Bye bye.